Let's face it, none of the new Jurassic World dinosaurs compare at all to the classic Tyrannosaurus. Well, except for this guy, and this Hammond collection figure does him justice. Let's open it up, check it out, and of course do some toy photography. So in the newer age of the Jurassic World movies, there's definitely been a big effort to introduce newer and different kinds of predators than just the typical normal T-Rex, you know? I mean, you can't beat the normal T-Rex. But anyway, none of those new introductions of new dinosaurs have really done it for me. You know, like the newer D-Rex, not really interested. The Indominus Rex, that really didn't do it for me either. But this guy right here in Jurassic World Dominion, I think he did. I think he was actually pretty great. I thought he was very terrifying. And no, he's not called the Giganotosaurus. So I'm sorry for all the times you heard me say Gigantosaurus. Gigantosaurus. I've seen so many comments asking me to get this guy. It's the Giganotosaurus. Why I called it the Gigantosaurus, I don't know. I feel like that's almost even a cooler name than Giganotosaurus. It's not a saurus,
Giganotosaurus, biggest carnivore the world has ever seen.
Anyway, this guy is actually really freaking cool, and I'm pretty excited about this figure. I randomly stumbled upon this figure in a Toys R Us right outside of Toronto, and I was pretty pumped about that. I was not expecting to find anything like this or any Hammond collection, and I found him, and I'm pretty excited about it, and I've heard nothing but great things about this figure. Everyone keeps saying, this is a great figure, when are you gonna review this? So here I am, I'm finally reviewing this guy. I'm finally gonna go out and take some photos of this guy, and I'm pretty excited. This is definitely gonna be a very, very welcome collection to the very small dinosaur collection I do have, but I'm very excited about it. And so far, the Hammond collection has been doing me great. I've been very happy with all the Hammonds and all of that I've been getting in, but I've also got a bunch of the non-Moos coming in too. There's another brand of dinosaurs called the non-Moo series or whatever, and I've got some of those coming too. So if you're not subscribed and you're a dinosaur fan, I definitely recommend it because there's definitely a lot coming soon that I plan on doing videos for. I'm loving the dinosaurs. I'm really loving them. So before I open this figure up, I want to quickly thank today's video sponsor, which is Skillshare. So with my toy photography, I'm obviously always trying to improve my skills and make my photos as cool and epic as they can possibly be. And one thing I always wanted to have a better understanding of was focal lengths, because I've always been self-taught and I knew that, you know, getting better with this would really take my shots to the next level. That's when I found Justin Bridges' class on Skillshare called Fundamentals of DSLR Photography. After taking that course, I have a far better grasp on which lenses I should use for each shot, and I even feel more confident now getting into every single photo shoot. Skillshare is packed with classes taught by real creatives from tons of different fields like art, illustration, animation, photography, graphic design, and productivity, and so much more. Whether you want to step up your toy photography like I did, or just want to level up your art or design, Skillshare has something for you. Right now, you can try it for free. The first 500 people to use the link I've got in the description of this video, or scan the QR code I've got on the screen, will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today. Man, I really hope they do another re-release of one of the Hammond T-Rexes. I feel like I'm just so late, and I'm totally one of those guys that I'm the one that gets excited for re-releases because I missed them when everyone else is getting tired of re-releases. I'm totally that guy, but that's okay. I really hope they re-release a new one, because besides the SDCC one, because I really want one. I really want one. Okay, and here we go. Here he is. He's ready to get tailed up. And the first time ever, we have got two, count them, two separate tail attachments. And I'm not gonna go through the whole game show segment again. Let's just put them in. Actually, all of these ones with the Hammond are so easy. So here we go. Let's hear a click, click. All right, that was great. Let's get another click. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, let's get him all posed up so he looks good for the camera. Man, this guy feels and looks great. He feels and looks really good so far. Looking good, buddy. Yeah, I really loved the Spinosaurus Hammond, but this guy might end up being my favorite Dinosaur figure that I've got. This guy is cool. I think just the design alone is just so good. I love the bluish green and gray. That's just such a cool color combo. And he's got such a muscular looking build. He's got like shoulders, you know? He's been working on those shoulders. And I like just a little bit of a boop in the spine there. That just looks good. There's something more humanoid about him too that makes him feel a little bit more intimidating to me, in my opinion. Yeah, Venom. I know, right? What do you think about him? He's pretty cool, right? But anyway, I'm assuming if it's gonna be on the same level of quality as the other Hammonds that I've opened, I'm assuming that it will be, and I think because of that, it's gonna end up being probably my favorite Dino figure. The quality of the sculpt and paint on the face is so good, and then usually it kind of dies down a little bit towards the feet and the tail. It becomes less, excuse you, there you go. And it does that a little bit. It does get a little bit less detailed as you go down, but not a whole lot. It's pretty much just straight up beautiful from head to toe, or from nose to tail, I guess. So as long as Venom thinks it's okay, I'd like to get into Articulation here. It seems like, I think, probably just as good as the Spinosaurus was. So just coming down to the face, you got all this open up here, and you've got those little squeezy little cheek things in there too. Venom, come on, buddy. And you've got two joints in the neck, two different pieces. So you've got here, and you've got here, and you can move pretty decently. So you can't turn any more to the side than that, but that's still a pretty decent amount. So I would say, oh, you can't look up higher than that too. But I would say that's pretty good. You know, that's the Hammond collection usually has a better articulation than the rest of the Mattel stuff. And his arms go all the way out like this, so he can do the Christ stare like in Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So that's pretty cool. His elbows do move too a little bit. Actually, yeah, his hands and his arms move actually pretty nicely. And as far as his legs go, you get a little bit of moving open wide like this a little bit. You've got a full rotation with that. Knees go a little bit. Ankles are great. So as far as just moving the arms and the legs and all of that, you can really get him into different poses. Like that one big colossal T-Rex, you could not put him in different poses. You could open his mouth and close it, but it was pretty much just one pose for the most part. Tail, you've got all that. So he's a real happy boy. And also moves here. And then this, I think, is bendy. Yeah, look at that. That is so great. And it seems like you can get him in the poses and get him to stand up actually pretty well. As long as you do the balance you need the way you gotta do, he'll stand up and he looks pretty good like that, you know? Not half bad. His tongue is articulated too, so he can click it up so it's like that, or you can go bottom of the mouth or top of the mouth. So you got a little bit of movement in there. Okay, it's a big guy, yes, but how big is he? So when I guess he's standing in this normal typical position, right up to the spike is about 10 inches. Very, very big. And if we were to get length, straighten out all the way, straighten up, all the way, it's about 28 inches. That's pretty crazy. I'm sure we can get a good, like if we want to stand him up, how tall is that? You are almost 15, 14 and a half inches or so. Not too bad. So, to compare, this is the Hammond Collection Stegosaurus that I did my most recent review on. So he's quite a bit bigger than him. He's significantly bigger. It's crazy, the boxes are almost the same size, but it's crazy how much bigger he is. And the last one I did, this is the Troodon Hammond Collection right here. He's gonna fall. And then this is the more recent Velociraptor, the orange one. Whew, quite the big difference there. Quite a big difference. So next we've got the Hammond Collection Spinosaurus, which is a freaking cool figure. Really, really loved this thing. At first I was really thinking I might like the Giganto more than the Spino, but no, I don't know. I think I might like them equally. There's a lot more nostalgia I have for him, but they look great next to each other. They're pretty similar, and I think they use a lot of the same sculpt. Do they use the same legs? No, they're different. Then if you want to do one more quick comparison, Wow, just barely squeezing in there. This is the Colossal T-Rex. It's not a Hammond collection, and obviously it's not the same scale. I think that's pretty clear, but it is a freaking cool thing, and I love just comparing them, seeing them together. Man, I need to get myself the Hammond T-Rex so I can make an actual comparison there. Maybe they should do a new one, like a green one. Oh wait, they did, and I missed it. Okay, well now we have to decide if we're gonna give him a W or we're gonna give him an L. I think he's a W, right? So the way I got him, you know, I found him in Canada and he was 90 Canadian dollars, which ended up being around $65 American, which is a pretty good deal. It was definitely less than I spent on the Spinosaurus. Not a whole lot less, but definitely less. So I was very happy with the price. And I think this guy is fantastic. I don't have any issues with him at all. I think he's fantastic. I'm also very new to the Hammond collection line, and some of the other great things I had to say about other previous ones, not everyone agreed. Everyone thought that they were bad, and I thought it was good. I don't know, I think he's great, so I think it's easy a W for me. So I'm gonna give him a W. Let me know what you think. Is he a W or an L or an M? Easy W for me. So I have really been enjoying taking photos of dinosaurs. The toy photography with dinosaurs has been so much fun. And so now I'm just even more excited to photograph this guy. And I'll probably go out and take him outside somewhere really nice and take a really cool shot. So I'm pretty excited. So let's go and take a shot. Okay, here we are. Well, I'm actually in the same spot I was in last week. I came back and I just love this spot. I'm sure it'll get old to me eventually and I'll shoot somewhere else. But I've got the Giganotosaurus in a little puddle over here. And I've got what looks like a pretty cool angle. And it's gonna be kind of silhouette-y like, because the sun's over here and it's behind him. And it's kind of just looking like a really hot, steamy shot, if you know what I mean. And so my settings are pretty straightforward. It's very fast actually. I got my shutter speed at 800. Because it's just so incredibly bright outside right now. And my f-stop's at 2.5, which actually I think works for him. You know, his face is gonna be very much in focus, and the rest of his body will be too. But it's gonna make the background pretty blurry because of the way the aperture is, and because I've got him posed somewhat on the side, he'll be in focus and be on the focus line. And my ISO's at 400. So I'm not exactly sure which I wanna do, because I might splash some water around to make it look like he's, I don't know, like he's walking. But I also might use my atmosphere aerosol, which might make it look even more steamy, and it might even give him a better silhouette that way. So I might do a couple of them, we'll see, but I'll definitely kind of decide and show both in the post-photo breakdown, see what happens. But it's pretty straightforward. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just gonna, you know, I've got kind of a lower angle because of the way, you know, he's still a big guy, you know, and, you know, I've kind of just working with the sun, and this spot is just beautiful. No matter where I go, it's gonna look cool. Let's just go and mess around with my light reflector a little bit and take some shots. All right, let's do post-photo breakdown on the good old Giganotosaurus. And I think this looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with this. This might be one of my only photos ever where I think it actually doesn't really look like a toy. Like it actually looks, I don't know, not like a real dinosaur, because dinosaurs aren't real anymore. I don't know, but it doesn't really look like a toy, which is never my goal. I never want to convince anybody that this is not a toy. You know, I want it to still be a toy. This is the before and the after. So I definitely did a lot of adjustments on the colors, mostly the sky, and I definitely made sure I brightened up his face. So his face looks really good. Actually, the clouds in the sky are not real. I used generative fill to get that. The Godzilla photo from last week kind of inspired me because it had very similar types of clouds, and I wanted something similar to that. And the sun there is actually just a lens flare that I added in. These are a couple examples of the atmosphere aerosol versions that I did with the fog. I like this. I think it looks cool, but I like this one more. This actually looks like a running river like this, and I think the splashes around his feet really look like he's walking. So let me know what you think. Give me some critiques as always, and let's just run the end of the video. So as expected, this figure is awesome, just as cool as the dinosaur is in the movie. Very, very happy with this figure. I think it's tied for first place with the Spinosaurus with me. But if you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. This photo, of course, is going to be thrown up onto Instagram and Facebook, TikTok. If you want to follow any of my work on those platforms, it's all linked in the video description below. And thank you for watching as always and getting all the way to the end of the video. And I will really hope to see you in the next one.